Where we would sort of add our services would come in would be around the financial modelling side of things. So when businesses are talking to investment firms or family offices or VCs or whatever, however they're trying to, I guess, raise capital, they would need some sort of financial model. And that financial model will be a sort of three-way financial model. So it would actually help them, will give them their sort of profit and loss for a period of time, their balance sheet, and then ultimately their cash flow. And that model is normally a driver-based model. So based on their key drivers within their business. So those sort of key variables that actually drive revenue to their business, and then the key drivers that drive costs to their business. So whether their drivers are, I guess, number of products, or number of widgets or whatever that is within their business, you would build that model around those sort of key assumptions of how many widgets they would sell, how many widgets would actually churn off, and then would develop their sort of revenue model from that side of things, and then we'd look at their costs and we'd develop a model, if that widget cost them 50 cents, we'd then build that cost base into them from a cost of sales perspective and a gross margin perspective. And then they're just normal day-to-day operating expenses and people, and we'll build a people model. And that will then feed into their balance sheet and cash flow. Those sort of models will be normally sort of 3 or 5 year models. So it would give anyone who's looking at that business an indication of where that business can go and where it can actually, how it can actually grow and scale, and what it needs to actually get to their 3 or 5 year targets. So we would work with the business owners, help in developing those models, and we'd work very closely with them, because it's sort of, for them, it's that key piece of information that they would use even for their next year as a budget, and help them sort of track and make sure, are they on track to actually achieve those numbers? Because when they're talking to investors at a later stage, the investor will say, well, you gave me these numbers, how are you on track to actually achieve, are you on track to actually achieve those numbers? So it becomes sort of a key piece of information. An example of that is we've worked with a business when we started sort of Cloud CFO, which is 5 years ago, and we helped them build a financial model. And actually on last Friday, I got a call from the founder, and she sort of said, can I come back again? She just wants to make some more tweaks to her model. So I think every couple of years she'll call me and say, can I come in? She wants to upgrade data model. She's looking at getting a next round of funding. Can I help her with that? So it's just a continuous process that you just need to continue to develop and work with them. And that's where we sort of help and aid the startups with from that perspective. The other avenue is really around, I guess, through what we've done and the work we've been doing, we've met a lot of investors and people who want to invest in startups and things like that. So we would help and make those introductions. So I've got a couple of businesses where their founders have actually been successful and they've sold out of investments and they've started new businesses, and they're always looking at new investments. So I would then be able to make those introductions. Or I actually work on a program called Springboard, which is a female-led accelerator program, where I've worked with a number of startups on that program, and through that program I've met other startup founders. And what you find is startup founders are always willing to actually help other startup founders, and they're willing to offer advice and mentorship, and I can just make those connections as well. So even if it's just a coffee chat that one startup founder can offer advice to another startup founder who's just starting out, I feel happy that I've actually made that connection and introduced those people that they can actually then help each other on their sort of startup journey.